It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Sharif Anael Bey, who is the owner of Syracuse Kung Fu. Mark Roberts stops by. He's the owner of Syracuse, or not Syracuse, it's Staff Leasing,
yes,
right?
It is in Syracuse.
It is. I thought it was Syracuse Staff Leasing.
No, it's Staff Leasing.
Staff
Here
Leasing.
in Syracuse. That's okay.
I don't know why. It just like something reckoned back, you know?
Yeah, maybe it was.
I don't know. Kathy German is the executive director of New Hope Family Services, and then Jim McCarthy is the president of Northland Communications, all on this half of The Local Show. Thank you for sticking around this long, and if you're new to the show this hour, welcome back, or welcome in. Yeah, something.
Whatever
like
it is, Tom.
Anyway.
Tom, tell them about the cups. Tell them about YouTube.
Yeah, so you got a broken mug.
Okay, well, if you're watching
Are you
on
going to give away
YouTube,
a broken mug?
that we have a Zoe mug that we're giving away one of these every week, Tom.
Right.
Someone subscribe on YouTube, hit the button, hit the thing, and...
Yeah. Are you giving it away in pieces?
Yeah, well, there was a problem
Everybody
earlier.
gets a piece?
These break easily. Normally, I'm very careful and very graceful.
Yeah, no,
But
not at all.
but so you won't get this one unless you really want it. And then of course you can have it. But like and smash and subscribe and all those things. So Zoe Advertising YouTube, we're building an audience. Please do it, and you'll be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, you can win a mug. I like the idea of breaking the mugs and then just giving out little pieces to people. Then they can have them like as collectors.
I think,
you know,
and
when you make a full mug, you win something else. I don't know. Anyway, we're broadcasting from the Zoe Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. It's our pleasure to bring back our guest, Sharif Anael Bey, who is the owner of Syracuse Kung Fu. Hey, what's kicking?
How's everybody? How you guys?
I want to know what it's like to have 3 names and you have to tell everybody how to pronounce all 3 of them.
Oh, my goodness. I get it all the time. The worst part is mail. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Or ordering things over the phone.
Right.
Sharif becomes Sharice.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
They don't know. But look, tell us your story, man. How did you get into this business?
Well, wow. The martial arts in general was something that kind of chose me. I've been doing it. I'm a lifelong martial artist. I've been doing it since age 5 officially. And to be totally honest, man, it was like, wow, I need some bodies to thump on and to stay in shape. So, what's better than beating up on people and slapping people around and getting them to pay you?
Well, Eric, I need to sign Tom. Tom up. This is a contract. I'm going to pay for Tom.
I'm Italian, so that's how I grew up.
That's how you grew up.
And that was just from my mom.
Right, the backhand and the chancleta, right?
We'll get Tom a white belt, and he's all yours.
Good golly. Yeah, so you've been doing, so you're kind of a student of all the martial arts before you got, concentrating on Kung Fu?
Well, I've done a couple, and I started with Taekwondo, which is Korean, right? Yeah. My father started me at age 5 with Taekwondo, and then moved into training in a number of the Kung Fu styles. So Kung Fu is not really a style.
No?
It's a slang word that denotes the hundreds of different styles that come from China.
Wow.
So there's many. Tai Chi is a Kung Fu style. Wing Chun is a Kung Fu style. So there's so many. And so I fell into the styles that originate out of the south of China, where it's more close range fighting. The kicks are lower, abundance of hand techniques.
What people want to know more than anything is where was everybody kung fu fighting? And were those cats fast as lightning? That's what's going through people's heads right now. What?
Absolutely, they definitely were. When I came up, coming up through the Bruce Lee era and the Kung Fu theater era, in my old neighborhood, there were karate schools like almost on every block. And then when the Bruce Lee craze and the Kung Fu thing became big, they all changed their sign from karate to kung fu. That's what happened. So everybody was, in a sense, kung fu fighting. You know, they were.
And what was the show with Carradine there?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. That was the name of it, right?
Yes, that was the name of the show.
Take the pebble from my hand.
Right.
So is your studio just like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tell us about your studio.
So, real traditional Chinese martial arts schools, the way that, especially in the old days they were run, they looked a lot like boxing gyms. You know, where you've got people working on different things. It wasn't like so much what you see today where everybody's regimented and doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of thing occurs, but it was really like a boxing gym. Somebody's working on this skill, somebody's working on that skill. The instructor's walking around kind of like coaching, you know, as he does. That's kind of what it's like. It's really like, you know, in a many respects, it's like a semi-functional adopted family.
I get you.
I promise you, it really, really is.
That makes sense. So tell us about our friend Brad, who works here at Zoe. So tell us about Brad. I want to know everything. Tell us. Bring it on.
Man. Well, Brad walks in. You know, when I was in my previous location, I was right in the middle of downtown on Warren Street. Brad walks in. You know, he's got this big grin on his face. He's like, I'd like to try
We call it
out.
the big stupid grin. But go ahead.
Big stupid grin. You guys said it. I didn't say it. There we go. So he walks in with the big grin, and he's like, hey, I'd like to try this out. Okay, cool. No problem. He tries one class, and he's hooked. He drunk the Kool-Aid. He's just like, I'm going to. Now, here's the funny part. He goes, I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing this. I'm dedicating my life to this. I'm going to da-da-da-da. I've heard that so many times from people. I just go, okay.
And then he didn't show up for 6 months.
No. He actually came back. And,
He did.
You know, so I'm happy to say that he's so far making good on that statement.
Did you thump on him?
Absolutely. You kidding?
Well, you know what Brad tells me that he likes the most is this holistic approach that you have.
Absolutely.
You know, that it's mind, body, spirit, everything. It's not just the physical act of Kung Fu, but
Correct.
he's also into the medical part, right?
It's physical philosophy.
Yeah.
It really, really, really is, as opposed to, you know, like you hear in the West a lot of times, and that's because of a disconnect between an Eastern tradition being practiced by Westerners. So they'll sit students down and say, don't do this unless your life depends on it. Now let's stand up and learn things that kill people. You know, as opposed to, you all are good people, yes? Okay. This movement is like a loaded firearm.
Right.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, being a good person, you're like, okay, well, do you have a non-lethal option? Can you show me something? There's the philosophy.
Yeah.
You see?
Right, I get you.
That makes.
Yeah, there's the philosophy there.
So where do people start? How do they start?
And let me ask you this,
Sure.
on the heels of that,
Yeah.
do you have to be in great shape?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Wait. Can you look like Tom?
Of course. You know, you figure it like this, right? Like let's take people who run track and field. You've got a sprinter, you got a long distance runner. Their bodies look totally different because the demands on their bodies are different, even though they're both running.
Right.
So you have different shape for different, you know, so there's athletic shape, then there's martial shape. Martial shape is military shape. It's really more mindset. Yeah, there is physicality involved.
Right.
But you figure the average street fight, if it lasts longer than 15 seconds, neither one of you knew what you were doing. 15 seconds is a long time. You know, and so, you know, so it relates to that. If you can give 100% for 15 seconds, you're pretty good.
It's a great question, Tom. Seriously. Yeah. So you got a couple nearly 60-year-old guys here.
Yes.
You can help us?
Absolutely.
Okay, talk briefly about kids. Is this a place for kids?
Absolutely. And so going back to the whole martial mindset, martial means military, and it doesn't mean being a tough guy. You know, military people aren't your classic tough guys. The classic tough guy is the guy that determines his own self-worth on whether he can beat you or not. Right? The military person or the military mind learns that sacrifice for something bigger or larger than yourself is, you know, that's what they prepare to do. So that's great to teach children, especially because sacrifice is sacrifice, whether it's sacrificing my health or my life for something I believe in or my family or my loved ones, or sacrificing an hour on the Xbox for homework. It's still sacrifice.
Right.
You know, and if they can learn that at a young age, they're going to go so much further than
Yeah, what's the Bible say? No greater love than this is someone that lays their life down for their friends. Right? And that's the sacrifice that you're talking about.
Absolutely. And that, see, you touched on something powerful there. That is why martial arts taught properly is or leads to a spiritual path. Excellent. To be a true warrior, you have to see beyond your own mortality.
Awesome.
Nice. You can get more of that, folks, from Sharif Anael Bey, who's the owner of Syracuse Kung Fu, and 395-3814. 395-3814 is the number to call if you want to get involved. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Mark Roberts is coming up next, owner of Staff Leasing PEO, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.